Hola amigos, welcome to Life for Living Well channel. Please subscribe to keep the channel going. You can also check us out by visiting our website on www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Sit down and enjoy the helpful topic for this week. Hey, hello everyone, welcome to another episode from Life for Living Well. My name is Richard. Before I start the podcast this week, I quickly like to make an announcement. If you do like to know more about what Life for Living Well does as a community, or you like to know about my blog, you can always check it out at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Where there are some exciting articles and some books that I've been also putting all this podcast together every week. And if you do like to get in touch with me, there's also a contact form on the website that you can just fire any of your questions or just request through that form, and I will try my possible best to get back to you as soon as possible. Let's get started this week without spending more time unnecessarily. I hope you're well. So, the topic of the podcast this week, I call it hero. There's a certain enthusiasm in liberty that makes human nature rise above itself in art of bravery and heroism. Who said this? This is Alexander Hamilton, one of the forefathers of American as a nation. And it's so true. So you will see how everything is connected by the time I finish this podcast, if you do stay throughout the end of the podcast. So the question I have for you as you listen to me right now is, have you connected with your hero? If it's not, what's stopping you? Most people are drawn to a hero like personality as it is often represented in movies. The Prince Charming just appeared and suddenly it saved the hopeless and vulnerable damsel. These are the pictures that when we hear or watch film, we see individuals that go above the limitation of many people, and we gravitate to it, and that is the reason why the mythology of say rescuer and protector is so strong in our day-to-day life. But this particular week, I'm looking to a hero, how we can bring it into our own personal life, into our own personal space, and have you been a hero to someone else in your own life, and why you are chose to become an hero. Is it something that is intentional for you, or something that you've been pushed to take extra that responsibility, or it's really deep to your who you are in terms of your core values that you are impossible to ignore injustice, and you do everything to bring justice to injustice situation. So you could be the hero and you might not even know. But by the end of this podcast, it might start coming together like a puzzle. And I hope this podcast help you. And let's continue. What about politicians that also use it effectively with a messiah cult-like image to rescue the whole of the nation? They may even boldly claim to return us back to sanity and the promised land. We all say every elections, the politicians probably be overpromise what they're capable to deliver, but people still want to listen to it. If the politician says that they cannot do a thing, hardly can anyone cast a vote for them. So they know this. So they spend a lot of money to do the research about people's behavior, psychology, and what kind of word that they can use, what time of the day they can deliver that message that will have impact on you. And you have no idea. And these are the battles you face all the time. So, and populist politicians in the times of trouble, they tend to get a lot because what you're forgetting is that deeper in our own psyche, it plays to the fear everybody carry that there's someone that have more strength, more power, more resources than them, so you'll be able to rescue them. So this is another way the hero play part in our day-to-day life, in our politics, obviously, in our home, in our relationship with our friends, our family, our children, our partner. So what role does mythology as hero and be an hero have in our day-to-day life and living? So these are the questions I was throwing out when I was putting this podcast together. There are few benefits associated with this when it is integrated well into our physique. It can help us to face and challenge our fears and limited beliefs. There's evidence that shows that people that have created heroism within their existing nature may well be able to face their fears, which are holding them back from moving on from setbacks. So, people that have horrible situation in their lives, such as an abuse, they have written encounter of their experience, and some of the things that turn out for the individual to survive that period of difficulties in their life is imagination of creating another being in order for them to escape from the physical and emotional pain that I experienced at that moment. And so they make the imaginative object more stronger, more powerful than the physical one that currently going through pain. And that's the only way they claim to manage or survive at that time. But in another sense, if we now bring it into our life, we can also create or type or connected with you or within us and use this to motivate ourselves to make things that we would like to see to happen in our life happen. Sometimes everything you see is initially is invisible, and you have to open your heart, believe that what you really want to make happen can happen for you. You begin to feel it. It's not just you thinking it, you have to feel it. It has to be settled in you, and then you will have the resources to do whatever you have to do to bring it into manifestation. So creating a new role in you is another way of motivating yourself to overcoming whatever setback that you are having right now. So in order to release us from mind enslavement like prison, as a result of our faulty thinking or past untreated traumas, it is not uncommon that people create imaginative personnel that help them to cope in a dysfunctional environment when they seem powerless. So this is what I'm putting out to us, that there are many people that written in their own experiences how they managed to overcome a terrible time period in their life. Well, apparently they create another object and they give that object all the power that their current one is lacking. And that is the object that help them to confront their fears and help them to seek for the help to help them to talk to somebody and ask that what they experience is not just a normal behavior, but it's something that really needs to deal with. Also, individuals that really want to change the circumstances, whether from one generation upon generation, that they come from one generation, they have the time to reflect about it, and they see how their own parent live their life, and they really consciously want to make a difference and change it in a way they have to do it. It's going to take a lot of work, but they are willing to do that. There are countries in the world that they were blessed with individuals that are shaping who they are today by the sheer volume of their courage, their determination, their integrity, that have pushed their people to rise up to the way of vision that they have for the nation. So it is not uncommon that people create imaginative personnel that help them to cope in that functional environment when they seem powerless. That raises a question in my mind. So, and the question is, what kind of hero are you? So, these are the things that you should ask yourself as you even listen to the podcast right now. So with a hero mindset, you begin to take more chances. That's one of the benefits of creating an hero or you becoming one. And know that you are not here forever. So you no longer become a passenger to dreams, to where you are in your life, what you want it to happen or what you already happen. You become to be a co-pilot of your own dreams. You create it. And the best people that can predict their future is the one that created it. If you wait for it to be created to you, you might be left behind. So you cannot compare your life to another person. You have to live the life you want to believe. In as much you feel acceptance, you feel peaceful, and you feel content. And that is what defines where you are. Because your chapter 1 could be somebody else chapter 10. So comparing yourself to other person is a very defeating way of thinking. And this particular thing, this podcast was telling you to find within you, to create an hero that will help you to increasingly refuel your energy and motivate you to push whatever you like to make a change. So let's see what most people really like about their hero. By doing so, you can nourish it in yourself, even develop it if you do not possess it yet. So let's see, number 1. One of the reasons why most people drawn to hero in personality or hero person is because of the courage this individual display. So despite the enormous challenges and fears, you will be ready to face it with determination and persistence. It doesn't mean that this individual doesn't have fear or doubt, but despite all those lower emotions, they still prepare me to confront it. How many times you give up when things are becoming difficult? How many times you take a step back when you feel like people will make jokes about your efforts? It takes courage. It takes courage. Many doors will open for you as a result of your courage. Because if you are approaching 20 doors and people don't want to know whether 16 doors are shut at you, in as much the 4 doors are open, People always say you are the lucky one because you always seem to get it done, but they have no ideas how many doors that refuse to open. And you just move to the next one, you just move to the next one, you just move to the next one, and then boom, it happens. It takes courage, it takes persistence, it takes kind of person that you keep falling and then you rise up again. So many doors will open for you as a result of your courage, such as traveling, moving to a foreign country, changing career, and making a new friend. All these things, when you're about to even thinking about it, about to do it, and you've never done it, you will face some kind of energy and emotion within you. And some of them will be so full of doubt, panic, and fear. And if you're now unfortunate a lot to seek support with the wrong people, they might not be able to support you the way you want because they have never seen to follow their own fear or confronting their own fear. And they will just discourage you at the same time. So it takes courage. This virtue will increase the more condition you create or created for you. So embrace it. Number 2, what about bravery? It takes a brave individual to rise anytime they fall. Sometimes the support system may not be available, but you are determined to make it. Try to take small steps daily to do things out of your comfort zone, such as having a cold showers. Find a very small confined places to sleep. I do have a friend that during the summertime, he will just choose to put something on the floor and sleep on the floor. And I'll ask him, why you do that? And one of the things this a friend of mine told me is he was trying to make himself adaptable to any situation so that he's not only sleeping in his king size bed or water bed, but he'll be able to feel relaxed, happy, regardless of how comfortable where he's sleeping is. So sleeping in small spaces, saying hi to a stranger. I didn't know how much this is very difficult for a lot of people, especially if you grow up as a child and you've been told not to talk to a stranger, and you become the adult and you really want to expand your zone in the sense that you want to be all-round individual, like you just don't want to specialize in quietness alone. You want to be all-round. You want to be able to choose to connect with other people. It's really difficult, especially when you go to a business conference or you go to a networking event and everyone are there for the same reason that you are there, and you have the opportunity to introduce yourself to 2 or 3 people. You might be the one that just stay behind the line and you're waiting for somebody to come and make a first move. This kind of approach sometimes is a self-defeating approach because other people are feeling and thinking the same thing you are thinking, and nobody make effort and they connected to somebody that throw the energy to them, because it takes courage to be able to actually do that, and you have to be really brave to even talk to a stranger, because you just can't know what you will get in return. And that's why a lot of people are comfortable to make friends that look like them, have the same color of skin like them, I grew up in the same area like them. So the idea of diversity is scare them, because as a human being, naturally by nature, we are not comfortable with the unknown. And that's what we needed to improve more in order to unlock some of the master stroke that we need to take the part in this lifetime. So there are many things that can increase and improve this virtue of bravery. So these are the qualities that you see in whoever you call heroes. And this is what you admire in them, how they put themselves together. Conviction. You will be influenced by their strong vision, integrity, and why they do what they do. These are the people that don't solely focus on what they will get in return, but are moved by the power of their conviction. Hardly can you find anyone that we call heroes that wasn't driven by one thing or the other. Either they driven by wider vision or goals, whether they are driven by universal energy or needs, or they are driven by something more cynical. You always say that there's something that they're strongly passionate about. And if you really tap into this thing yourself, you might be surprised that you also carry little things within yourself. Unless you connect to it, it will be difficult to begin to planting it, grow it, wet it, nurturing it. So you can begin working on your true self, such as honesty and core values that are important to you. Lastly, on my list for this particular podcast is strength. The true strength of their character is the selflessness and self-sacrifice that demonstrate in life daily. Have you considered helping someone that cannot really ever pay you back? In the world today, many people focus on what is in it for me. You can take a small step today, help that charity or individual in any capacity you can. So to bring this podcast to the end, finally, we all have heroes in us, but only few people embrace the challenges and benefits associated with the responsibility. If you would like to know more about this, see further reading that I provided, and you can say that if you actually see this article as well on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. And one of the books that I actually love reading now is written by Rhonda Brown, Hero, The Secret. But if you do like to know more about the link and the other support article that helped me put this podcast together, you can find it out on the website at www.lifeforlivingwell. As we bring this podcast to the end, I hope this particular podcast helps someone this week. And until we catch again, have an amazing week and stay safe. Ciao. From everyone here, from Life for Living Well, we say hasta luego, amigos. Thank you for your time this week. May your rest of the week be safe and loving. Please subscribe to our channel to keep it going. And you can find more information on our website by visiting www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Goodbye.